Namaskar and very good evening, everyone. So, today I'll begin the second part of our class. I hope my voice is clear. So, please indicate if there's no clarity. Okay, today is our second lesson of the 6 weeks Astaunga Yoga course. So, I'd like to begin the session by paying my obeisance to my Guru Deva, who's the inspiration behind this sharing, all this effort to bring the teaching of yoga to the public. So he himself founded a mission, founded a path known as Ananda Marga and a vehicle known as Ananda Marga Pracharaka Sangha in 1955, right? So we are just carrying out his mission, right? So this is one of his important mission. That is, yoga is the path of progress, the path of development for each and every human being. In individual life, we should practice yoga, and in collective life, we should encourage others to practice yoga. Okay, and it is the panacea of all human elements in the physical realm, the psychic, and also the spiritual realm. All right. Now, today, in this week, this will be the outline of the presentation. So, I'll be covering on a few topics. One is Purushartha, next, the nature of mind, and on Yama Sadhana, which is the first limb of yoga. And also, we'll conclude with this sadhana, okay, the spiritual, the practical side of yogic practice. So, I'd like to begin with the introduction. Okay, we have seen this, but this idea need to sink into your mind regarding what is yoga. So, yoga, the tradition defines here. Tradition means specifically the Tantra yoga tradition defines yoga as Samyoga Yoga Ityukto Jivatma Paramatmana. Okay, Sanskrit, which translates as the unification of the unit soul or the Jivatma with the universal soul, that is Paramatma. And this urge to unite to Paramatma is inherent and natural for every Jivatma or soul, and therefore it is called the soul's natural dharma. Okay, dharma means what is natural, what is your natural expression. Okay, that is what is that is the definition of dharma. Okay, and yoga even etymologically means union. So let's see some of the key takeaways from the previous class. Okay, in the previous class I mentioned this, that the journey of yoga begins by understanding oneself, the individuality through self-inquiry. Okay. The second point is the 8 limbs of yoga are a methodical process to unfold our consciousness. And a human being, okay, I mean the very being or the core of human being, it constitutes of body, mind, and soul. And the prime motive of all living being is to seek pleasure. Okay, this I mentioned in the introductory class. Sukha Anurakti Parama Jiva Vritti. That is, every living being, they yearn for pleasure. All right. Then we'll continue with the introduction. So we should try to understand dharma by looking at the prime motive. That means when we talk about the definition of yoga being the union of unit soul and the universal soul, you don't have any idea about that. Okay, both concepts appear to be very abstract, very philosophical, but you can understand yourself from certain point of view. Okay, so when our masters try to explain this by revealing, okay, that every living being primarily seeks pleasure. Okay, so the basic instinct of every living being instinct for survival, which is food, sleep, sex, and fear. And in the case of human being, so even this basic instinct, we expand it further. But whatever it is, we try to seek pleasure through the basic instincts. Okay. And even when we progress further in other aspect of life, it's always about, your motive is always about your own happiness, okay, pleasure. So we need to understand this further. Okay, so the sastras, the yoga sastras explain this, that the natural dharma of the soul, or the natural expression of the soul, also includes other aspects, and it is known as purushartha. Purushartha means the object of soul's pursuit. In Sanskrit, another name for the soul, apart from the word atma, is purusha. Purusha means pureshete jasa purusha. That means the witnessing entity in every living being is purusha. Okay. So now let us see what is this concept of purushartha. So the fulfillment of purushartha is necessary because of the trifarious nature of jivatma. Means jivatma, or you, the living being. Okay, don't worry about the what you call the terminology, but basically we already discussed last week, on the week before that you are an individual. Okay, nobody can deny that. So you are an individual. You have a physical body. You have okay. Then you have your psychic existence. Here, it's psychic means your mind. Psychic means mental and spiritual dimension. So it means that we are not merely physical beings, but our existence also has the psychic and spiritual dimension. Okay, what is purushartha? Okay, what means purushartha means what is being desired by purusha. So your expression, your primary expression is physical. That means anything to do with your survival. Okay, so food, sleep, reproduction, okay, all this, shelter, medical treatment, anything pertaining to your physical survival is karma. And it is necessary. Okay. Yoga Shastra, the philosophy of yoga never denies this. Okay. Then next is Artha. Artha means the longing for progress, longing to seek knowledge. Okay. Through Artha, we have all the things that we have today, all our technologies, all our sciences, all sort of knowledge, which actually brought our, improve the quality of our life, made our life better, and we continuously strive to make our life better. So human being, as a human being, we are continuously pursuing Artha. Okay, and then the first one here, Dharma. Okay, after continuous fulfillment, fulfillment or fulfilling, the process of fulfilling karma, the physical desires or physical longing, and the longing for progress or artha is natural. Okay. Other form, the non-human, they stop at karma. The human, it goes up to artha. But some certain percentage of human being also, they started to explore further. Since ancient time, and that is dharma. That happens when they begin to ponder over some existential questions. So they have some restlessness. Suddenly there's some restlessness, some awakening. They wanted to know what happens after death, what happened before death, what about the world beyond, and so on. And it's dharma. Okay, and when you pursue dharma, another dimension of existence will be open to you. Okay, and while pursuing that journey, so eventually you will open the door for moksha, which is enlightenment. Okay, so I already explained just now what is karma. So from primitive human being until now. Okay, so it pertains to basic instinct: food, sleep, sex, fear, and very dominant in primitive human being, and still dominant in in the modern man. So despite being modern, despite like the caveman, they don't wear dress. They used to wear leather. Okay, from no dress, they start to wear leather and other things, or leaves. Okay, as their dress. Now we have different type fashionable dress and so on. But our mind, how much our mind have developed? Yes, definitely we have more. We are more developed mentally, compared to the primitive human being. Yet, how much have we developed ourselves spiritually? That is the question. So those kama, then artha is a psychic longing. Okay, so all our knowledge, all geography, physics, math, okay, all sort of sciences, social sciences, pure sciences, all comes under the scope of psychic longing. Okay? And we have made tremendous progress in this area, and we are continuing to make it. And it's just that the scientists or the learned people, they think that everything is just here, that they may even find the secret of immortality by doing research in the lab. So our Guru Deva said the further progress in science will only happen when human beings pursue the path of psycho-spiritual research. Okay, psycho-spiritual research is the research that you make through your mind, in your mind. Okay, and that is dharma. Okay, and I've explained this also earlier. I quoted from our Guru Deva's sutra, Ananda Sutram, Brihatte Sa Pranidanam Chatarma. So I explained this last week also, that this urge to become great, okay, Brihatte Sa means Brihatte Sana means the urge to become great. Okay, so it's naturally inherent because we try to become great in everything that we do. Okay, but we are not satisfied. Okay, but psycho-spiritual longing, it goes beyond the physical and psychic. Okay, so for example, in the illustration here, this is one saint during our era. So he often, whenever disciples, so you don't seek disciple, he never make any conscious endeavor to make disciples. People they used to go to him. So you always tell them that you will find the answer, okay, when you deepen the quest. Okay, the self-inquiry, who am I? Okay, it's not to repeat who am I as a mantra, but it should be some kind of thirst within you. And through that, you will find the answer. Okay, so that is the dharma. And last one is moksha. Okay, so if you don't understand what is dharma yet, of course, this will be very abstract. Moksha means a state of transcendental awareness. That means you go beyond your physical body, your mind, okay, even from the state of I consciousness. So you will have universal consciousness when you reach this. Okay, so basically this concept of purushartha or the theory. Okay, but in yogic science we don't call it theory. The yogis, they did research. They said this is inherent in the base of human spine. The expression of dharma, artha, kama, moksha is inherent within every human being, regardless of their ethnicity, their gender, and so on. Okay, so basically, Purushartha implies that every living being will only find the ultimate fulfillment by merging with its source, which is the universal consciousness of Brahma. That means you will eventually pursue all these four. You have to express yourself in those four channels. Okay, and human being, they will be born again and again until they find a balance. Yoga means to find balance. So there is always something which is not balanced in you. So you are part of existence, and when you try to be an individual, try to isolate yourself from the universal consciousness, there will always be conflict. Okay, you'll always be in the state of off balance. All right. Right. So last week we just discussed in brief about the concept of chitta. Okay, so the chitta means the state of mind. From I'd like to request participants to please unmute your your audio. Okay. All right. Next is okay. The chitta. So it's a state of mind from which a human being operates. So it is normal state of awareness. All right. That means last week we discussed about that. The state of I am, I do, done, I, and so on. Okay, we will see that again today. Okay, so the chitta itself constitutes of 5 layers. Just like you can take an onion, you can open it up. So So our guru used to use the example of plantain flower. Okay, so there are 5 layers, and you have to unfold it. So it basically consists of conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. The unconscious mind itself is 3 more layers known as supramental, subliminal, and subtle causal. Okay, so you see again, this is basically you. Okay, so you cannot study the universal man or God or whoever it is, but you can always study yourself. Okay, you can study yourself, okay, at the lowest level. Okay, from the state of the body. Try to understand your body awareness, the habits of your body. Okay, but the body is not a machine. Okay, it doesn't function just by itself. See, so the body is being operated by the chitta. Okay, the chitta is the objective awareness. Okay, so at a deeper level is the awareness of I do, and that originated from the basic awareness of I am. And the core of this, the origin of all this is the Atman, your own self. And because your Atman is associated with your unit consciousness, this is the shadow consciousness. Atman is the original. That's why it's known as Jiva, Jivatman, right? So a beginner should try to understand what you call the various states of mind. Okay, so we will use this both terms interchangeably. The terms used by the modern psychologists as well as the term of the yoga psychology. Okay, in yoga psychology we call causal mind, which is known as unconscious mind in psychology, modern psychology. Subtle mind is known as subconscious. Crude mind is known as conscious. So we will be using this interchangeably. Okay. So what is the conscious mind? Okay, just now we talked about this body. Okay, the habit of the body and all that. So what is the normal habit of the body? One is to get hungry. Okay, you get hungry, so you need to ingest food. Okay, at least 3 times a day, 3 or 4 times. Okay, depends on your food habit. But normal people, they'll eat 3 to 4 times a day, right? Because you need fuel to run the body. Okay, the body also will react to things. When there is a danger, so the adrenal gland will release adrenaline. Okay, it's a fight or flight response. Okay, and also when you get tired, you need sleep. Okay, and as human being, they grow at certain age. There's a biological changes in the body, so they'll start to find a mate. Okay, so in the civilized world, so we try to make this more formal. So you introduce a system of marriage. Okay, in the what do you call, in the prehistoric period, so there is no system of marriage. Okay, it's a natural expression, and these instincts or expressions are controlled by the conscious mind. Okay, so you don't have to teach this. For example, a baby after being born, you don't have to teach the baby to drink milk. It happens automatically. All right, so the conscious mind controls the indriyas or the senses, your ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. Then the karma indriyas means your hands, leg, vocal cord, genital, and anus. Okay, so your function of the body, the functions of the body is somehow, it's about being mobile and also collecting information from the external world, and this is under the governance of the conscious mind. All right, but this conscious mind, you have to discipline it. If you don't discipline it, there'll be a lot of problem. Okay, so in the modern setting, so we have law so that people won't steal. Okay, somehow we have law, we have police and all that. Okay, but a better way to regulate the human expression so that they won't become a vagabond is that educate them. That's where the role of subconscious mind comes. Okay, so again, I've explained this. The action of crude mind or conscious mind is based on instinct. So humans who live at this level could be considered as an animal in human form. Okay, That means if their only concern is food, sleep, sex, fear, self-defense, and so on, so they have not made much progress. Okay, so in the Ashtanga Yoga, the practice of yama is introduced to regulate this layer. Okay, the subconscious mind is also known as, so there's a typo here, it's actually known as Sukhamasanam, or subtle mind. And the function of this subconscious mind includes thinking, recollection, right, problem solving, okay, your memory, everything comes under this. And this is the mind or layer of mind which play a very significant role in human life, because it links between the conscious and the unconscious, or the causal mind. And when you master the subconscious, you can actually tune your life according to your liking, okay, provided you have greater control. Okay, I mean, your ability to change things is greater compared to normal people. And the individual life is purely a projection of our subconscious mind. So you are what you think. You might have heard this maxim, huh? You are what you think. And the process of spiritual practices are aimed at controlling and transforming this layer. That means this particular layer, known as subconscious mind, is ready for manipulation for good or bad. Okay, sometimes you don't even do it consciously. Okay, you will actually kind of expose yourself to some unwanted information, knowledge, which actually which will eventually corrupt your subconscious and influence your life accordingly. That's why our parents used to say, do not mix with bad companies. That is the reason, right? Because when a habit is being formed strongly, I mean, habits always will form a very strong pattern in the subconscious, right? And that will determine what happens to you. Because whatever happens to your life is the projection of the subconscious mind. And in the Ashtanga Yoga, in the system of Ashtanga Yoga, this pranayama, the science of or the practice of breath control, is the best process to control this layer. Then what is this unconscious mind? So unconscious mind, as I mentioned earlier, it has 3 more layers, but let's not worry about it. So let's see, I mean, just at the surface level, So yeah, when you unfold the unconscious, I mentioned last week, you can't easily manipulate this. Here you have to work hard. You have to do certain things, certain practices. Okay, so this is also known as layer of intuition. That subconscious is a layer of intellect. Okay, a little access to this layer will transform a person. So qualities like vairagya or detachment or viveka or discrimination will be attained after controlling this layer. It's a very stable layer. Okay, so I'm not going to the theory of karma yoga, samskara yet in this week, but definitely I have to touch on that. Karma pala means unconscious thought pattern. Okay, a very loose translation, unconscious thought pattern, where this thought pattern, like in the subconscious, you are kind of conscious of it. Unless the thing happens, unless you planted those thoughts in the subconscious mind maybe 20 years ago, maybe you don't remember how it happened now. But mostly you remember. But the unconscious is rather deeper than that. And from where this memory came, okay? So some say it came from, it is an ancestral memory, memory of your ancestors. Maybe, yes, your body, your cells may carry that. But that's not the only thing. So even you have your personal memory. So in yoga, we say that you kept changing bodies. So you live in one life and in another life. So you carry this memory. This is the unconscious memory, or known as samskaras. You can Google this particular author, Dr. Ian Stevenson, who did some remarkable research on past lives. Okay, and also there's one book called Many Lives, Many Masters. Also another modern psychologist who worked with this regression method, going into people's unconscious mind and find certain things which doesn't belong to this life. Okay, those been interesting read. If you have time, if you're really interested, you should go, find out about that. Okay, anyway, the purpose in this class is not to make you believe in any theory, but to analyze your own self. Okay, so surely there is something called unconscious thought patterns is there, which and when you'll only understand that when you penetrate or actually unfold unconscious. Okay, so the unconscious is also known as causal mind or karana mana. Okay, but because that is the cause of anything that happened in your life. So this portion of mind is all knowing, but it is cloudy. Why it is cloudy? Because you are very busy with your conscious and subconscious, right? So if you could balance your subconscious mind by your action, by right action, and by certain practice, so you will create some alignment between the unconscious, subconscious, and unconscious. That's where you will begin to get a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of awareness which can be experienced by an individual. Okay, so basically it's about straightforwardness. If there is straightforwardness in one's action, the person will have a clear conscience. Conscience is very important here. So that is related to the next topic, yama sadhana. Okay, so in yoga, so yama means control. The word yama is from the root word ja, and those who are familiar with Indian mythology, the name of the Lord of Death, his name is Yamaraja, Yama. Okay, there's a connection here. So some of these authors or the teachers in the past, they want to create some fear in people, so that they will not go astray. So they will always so they try to infuse this fear by telling, so if you are not disciplined in your life, okay, if you do a lot of bad things and all that, so the Lord of Death will come in to usher you, and he looks terrible, very very serious taskmaster and so on. Okay, that is just to give you an idea. All right, so yama is basically, in principle, is about how you maintain a state of mental equilibrium. Okay, so the whole of yoga is equilibrium. Okay, the 8 limbs of yoga. So the last one is samadhi. So that is the total state of equilibrium. But it begins by the first one, is yama. So yama means how you maintain balance with your environment. So definitely you are in environment, there is an external world with, with the external world, and you are dealing with the external world constantly with people, okay, things and events. So in yama, just take a quick look at it. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. These are 5 practices, 5 virtues that you have to cultivate. Okay, just let us see a bit. What is this? All these 5. Okay, so ahimsa means non-injury, not to inflict pain or hurt on others by thought, word, and deed. It's ahimsa. Then satya, the benevolent use of mind and words and all your senses. Satya basically means action. So this week we will see specifically on yama satya. And now we are seeing it overall. So asteya means not to steal, or to renounce the desire to acquire the wealth of others. And it also concerns about depriving of other people's due. For example, if you are first, you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't acquire the thing of others. At the same time, if let's say you are a manager in office, you have a lot of staffs under you, and you are angry with one of them for some reason, and you write a very bad evaluation, and because of that, maybe the person's mistake is maybe minor, but you wrote out of anger, you wrote a very bad evaluation, and as a result, the person didn't get a promotion or didn't get a pay rise or whatever. So that is also against asteya. Okay, quick example. So we will see it more in the when we go to that topic specifically. So Brahmacharya, again, this Brahmacharya means Brahmacharya came from the word Brahmani Vicharanam Brahmacharya, from the word Brahma. Brahma means universal consciousness. So Brahmacharya means to keep the mind always absorbed in Brahma or universal consciousness, or to develop universal outlook. And in many yogic textbook, Brahmacharya was erroneously defined as celibacy. Okay, so that is not correct. Okay, so Brahmacharya means to be absorbed in the thought of Brahma, because as I say, Yama is about others, about how you deal with other people, right? Again, you will see this when we go to this particular topic specifically. So aparigraha is about to live in moderate. It is to renounce everything. That means not to be greedy. Okay, if you need 1 or 2 cars for your family, that's fine. Don't buy 10 cars. Don't buy 4 houses while you only need a small space. Okay, because your action create this ripple in the society. Because some people have a lot of money, so they buy 10 houses, so they create artificial demand. Artificially, they cause the price of houses to be expensive beyond normal market price. Okay, just an example. So that is aparigraha, means to avoid wastage. Okay, you only can eat little bit like this, so you order a lot of food. While there are some people who can't even afford a decent meal, a single decent meal a day. Okay, so that is aparigraha. That means if you are greedy, you cannot take up yogic practices. Simple as that. So now, so Yama Sadhana is basically about how we maintain a balance with other people within our environment. It's about adopting an integral outlook towards others. Okay, balance, peace. So now, specifically, we're looking at Satya. So Satya is defined in Sanskrit. Parahitartam van manasa jatartatvam satyam means it's your conduct. Okay, using your action, using your mind and your senses. We already see what are the 10 senses, 5 working motor organ, 5 sensory organ. Okay, we are constantly utilizing the senses and the mind and dealing with people. So in Satya, the definition of Satya is, so whenever you do that, make sure that your action always result in other people's welfare. At least do not harm other people. So the actual word, so Satya is not truth. Okay, some people also erroneously in some books they say Satya means to speak truth. The word for truth in Sanskrit is rita. Okay, to say things as it is. Okay, I mean, so you should always follow Satya. Okay, and always tell the truth, rita, whenever it is in line with Satya. For example, someone is running. Someone is running away from another criminal who tried to murder him. And he came to you for shelter. So then you allow him to hide in your place. And then the murderer comes. So where is that guy? So you want to speak truth. Oh, he's here, hiding here. You have spoken the truth, but you have against Satya. Okay. In that context, even if you tell a lie, okay, that is in line with Satya. So we didn't do anything wrong. Okay. Just an example. Huh? So you have to uphold Satya in all conditions. And a person who upholds Satya will be successful in all his endeavor, his life. So as we follow Satya as a guiding force in our action, we will be in the same flow with cosmic mind. Okay, the cosmic mind or the universal mind, the mind of God, the sentiment of the universal mind or the mind of God is always the welfare of all living creatures. That is his concern. So you also go into that path. So you are in sync with the universal consciousness. But if when you go against that, that's why there's conflict. So always practice Satya. So the practice of Satya will illumine your mind, and this is lead to a term called Rajuta or straightforwardness. Okay. Talking about Satya, see, like we do a lot of mistakes. We as a human being, we are subject to make mistakes. We always do. Okay, and those who are good with empathy, they always try to improve themselves, right? to become better. So, but if you constantly make mistake, especially harming others, you keep repeating it, what happened? You may justify that, oh, actually, I didn't do that, or that person, what I call, that person's action caused me to do that. Actually, I never did it like that. You can say, you can tell all these lies, but your mind knows that what you did is wrong. So this somehow, it will be in the memory, and then your conscience will be disturbed. Okay. So that's where that will create misalignment, between the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, right? So the more you do this, the more you are slack in your action, which is anti-satya. Okay, the less willpower you have because of your affected conscience. Okay, so this is a very important practice. Satya, just by practicing satya, there will be tremendous progress in your life. Okay, so there will be a clear conscience in subconscious. If a person in the subconscious, the person follows satya. Okay, and it results in the alignment of unconscious, subconscious, and conscious, and ensure victory in life, victory in every aspect of your life, and definitely for spiritual path. And if you do, your action is against satya, right? So action is against satya, and what do you call? You will have this problem of weak willpower, and a lot of things that you do, you will not be successful, right? Okay, now we'll come to sadhana. So before we go into sadhana, you can stop me if you don't understand any of the things that I shared just now, or you want to keep it till the end. Okay, so we also can do that. So I can proceed with this topic. So any questions so far? All right, no questions. So now we go into this next topic. Okay, so the sadhana, you already mentioned sadhana of Astaunga yoga, the 8 limbs: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Okay, the 8 limbs, and this is a very systematic approach to elevate human consciousness. But as a beginner, or most people, we will mainly practice the first 5 limbs only: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, and pratyahara. And even in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, these are known as Bahiranga Yoga. The first 5 limbs are known as Bahiranga Yoga or external yoga. Whereas the last 3, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, okay, these 3 are known as Antaranga Yoga. Why? If you're not refined enough, okay, if your mind is not refined enough, you won't be able to do this dharana yet. Because dharana, dhyana, and samadhi is the highest state of yoga. Okay. But even if you succeed in the first 5, okay, that itself is a big thing. All right. So in this class, in this course, we will touch on all the 8 limbs, but dharana, dhyana, and samadhi is only on the need to know basis. Okay. Yeah, because you take many years for you to master dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, right? Where first you have to spend at least 12 years in mastering the first 5, minimum 12 years, right? Okay. Okay, just before I go further, okay, there are some people of Ananda Marga, who practices the Ananda Marga practices. Okay, so these are some of the, you can say, lessons or packages. So like this, the first one is a preliminary practice known as Prarambic Yoga. Okay, and in Prarambic Yoga there are 2 lessons. In Sadhana Yoga, okay, so Prarambic Yoga, maybe the person can't really commit much, how much time they can commit to practice and all that. Okay, but they can learn 2 lessons. And then after some time, if they feel that they wanted to do more, they can spend more time. Okay, then they can take up Sadhana Yoga. Okay, so this one, this course, there are 5 lessons. Okay, but both Prarambic and Sadhana Yoga, there is no, what they call, this asana, apart from dhyana, the other asanas are not included because of dietary regulation. Because here there is no strict dietary regulation imposed on the participant. But the third one, the Sahaj Yoga, which is also known as Rajadiraj Yoga. So there's a strict requirement in terms of diet and time. Okay, you have to spend at least 1 hour for your practices. So in this Sahaj Yoga, there are 7 lessons. In the last one, Vishesh Yoga, so this is for very advanced practitioners. So just now when we talk about this, the yoga, what do you call the Bahiranga and Antaranga Yoga, Vishesh Yoga starts with Antaranga Yoga. I mean, they have to master the third. They have to become an adept. Then only they can apply to learn Vishesh Yoga. Okay, this is just to give you a brief understanding. So when you go through this course, okay, you'll be ready to take up some higher practices through initiation. Okay, but whatever practices that we shared with you in this course for the beginner, will be very useful in preparing you to take up the next practice. Okay, and regarding the next part, okay, for Ananda Margi, there are some of you here, and there are 2 categories of you in this course. So one is the old seniors. Okay, seniors, they just want to refresh and all that. I think there's no issue with them. And the beginners also, I won't be talking about your practices specifically. I'm not supposed to, but I'll explain to you the principle. Okay, so while explaining this, the method which I'm sharing with the beginners here, so I'll also explain what actually happens in your practice. Okay, so a quick look. So sadhana means sustained effort. Okay, we just took a glance for the mind, how the mind functions and so on. So how the thought pattern in mind influence your life and so on. So now you will see how sadhana will actually help you to improve yourself, right? So we have mentioned earlier. So asana means to adopt a steady posture. So pranayama is to regulate your breathing, and pratyahara is actually to withdraw your mind from external world, from the body, okay, and even from the mind, and bring it to a single point. Okay, so last week we had a class on Monday, so a special class where I shared something about postures, about the practices in more details, so that I don't have to make many videos to make you understand. Okay, so here we will just go through in general. I mean, yeah, not in general in detail, but there's no practical lesson now. Okay, so the important aspect, okay, is sadhana. So the posture, regulate, and what I mentioned earlier. So posture. So any issues with the posture? Okay. Or do you need further explanation? That posture has to be steady. So I demonstrated all the postures. Okay, and you also have the videos that you can see. Right, so there's no question. Okay, so stiram sukhamasanam, I would like to explain further. So stiram means the asana need to be firm, and you should feel pleasant. Okay, and actually you will create the stiram sukham asanam internally when your mind focuses on a specific chakra before you meditate, right? So these are the postures which I demonstrated in the special class. All right, and people who have some difficulties, they can use the chair. Okay, as long as they keep the back straight. All right, Ujjayi Pranayam, I also mentioned that this is about inhaling, deep inhalation and exhalation. Okay, and you have to focus on your the navel point. So I've explained the method. Okay, so if you have any question on this, you can text me personally. Okay, that is the best thing. Okay, 61 points. Any question on 61 points? Okay, there's one question. Okay, clear. All right. Okay. Okay, you have the chairs. You can again refer to this. Okay, just one additional point. So somebody asked, some people ask, what is the logic behind this? So see, rotation on the marma point helps in release of muscular tension. One. So it affects the physical body by working deeply on the pranic field and the nervous system. Okay, it also balances the subtle energies and increasing mental harmony in the process, right? And it helps you. Okay, when you actually you are training your mind to concentrate, so to improve your concentration, because normally you don't do that kind of exercise. Okay, so it trains the mind to be one pointed, and as you direct the attention in a systematic and orderly fashion for a definite period, you will increase your ability to concentrate, right? And by this you can shift your direction or attention inward. Your attention is always outward, right? So last week, so the steps, posture, pranayam, okay, deep breathing, postures. The next again, you do this breathing again, okay. Sorry, you go into this marma point, then breathing again, and then I introduce the fourth step. Okay, I introduce a mantra. Okay, mantra means, okay, what is the logic behind using a mantra? Okay, so just now we discussed about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, you have countless ideas, countless thoughts. I am this, I am that, I am rich, I am angry, I am peaceful, so on and so forth. Many patterns, many thought patterns, and also the that is auto suggestion. And there are a lot of outer suggestion that we receive from our parents, from friends, from enemies. Okay, you're useless, you are positive, both positive and negative. No, so you have that. So the science of mantra is that you introduce, instead of fighting with all those thought patterns, create a lot of conflict. So you introduce a very positive power or idea. So here, like, this is a mantra. This is a universal mantra. With the universal idea. So beginner can use this. So when you get initiated into any system of yoga, whether in our school or any other school, okay, if the initiation involve mantra, so they will give you a personal mantra. So in the school of Ananda Marga also we give a personal mantra, okay, and very specific to the nature of the person. So here, Shivoham, Shiva here, Shivo come from the word Shiva, and Shiva is not a deity here. Shiva means consciousness. So Shivoham means I am consciousness. And you have to synchronize this with your breath. So when you breathe in, you say Shivoham. So here, there is an attitude. There's a method of doing this. Okay, so see, this applies to Ananda Margi also when you repeat your Mr. Mantra in your sadhana. Okay, so it's not like you must develop the attitude of a sniper. Okay, see. So I think you are familiar with sniper. Some of you might have seen this this kind of movies. Okay, so now I will ask question. Okay, there are 4 pictures here. What is the idea that you get? Okay, so please just voice up. What is the idea? Yeah.
Focus, I think.
Okay, focus. Yeah. Other than that, you can see that there are, in all the pictures, there's something that you can notice.
Steadiness, balance.
Yes, good. Steadiness, balance. Because a sniper, there are a lot of things to do, right? They have to see
There's always a target.
Yeah, target is there. The wind will be blowing, so you have to adjust your position.
Shooter.
Yeah.
Concentration.
Yes, you have mentioned all that, but still you're missing one important point.
Camouflage.
Yes, so camouflage, the idea of camouflage is that they are immersed in the environment, isn't it? They're immersed in the environment. Okay, this is what you do in your pratyahara. Okay, so even Ananda Marga, so you have your shuddhis, the 3 steps, the pratyahara, that is pratyahara. So we withdraw from the external world. See, so a sniper, they're completely oblivious to everything. Okay, their only target is the target is that person they're going to shoot. and they will wait patiently. They won't get restless. Okay, the secret, what they call, the success is maintaining balance, being immersed in the environment, stay focused. All right. So this is what you do when you do sadhana. You maintain the steady posture. These people, they won't even go to pee. So they'll be there for hours. So that's the attitude you must develop when you do asana. So when you adopt your asana, a steady meditation posture. You don't do, most people, you sit, then you heard some beep sound from your phone. The phone even might be in the next room, but you will get restless. So who's that at this hour? So your attention should be only on your target. Okay. So the other thing is, so there's one way of combating through this method, sniper. Okay. Another one is using machine gun. Take a machine gun, you start to shoot many bullets. You may or may not hit the target. But the idea is for more bullets, 100 bullets per minute, the chances of hitting the target, but then the target will run away. Right? So the same thing with this practice of sadhana. In the practice, whether those who have been initiated into the Ananda Marga system, or the system that I am sharing, the method here, is that you are not supposed to be like the soldier with the machine gun. You're supposed to be like this sniper. Okay, so that means you wait for the right moment. Okay, to take the ideation of mantra. It means you sit, postures there, you take your time, take a deep breathing, relax yourself, go to the marma point, or those who are initiated, take your time there with your asanas, with all your suddhis. Take your time, you don't rush. Don't rush, and finally you arrive at the point. So the beginners here, you arrive at the midpoint. This is your chakra. And the Ananda Marga sadhakas, you have your Ista chakra, which is allotted to you. So then you arrive there. So you don't rush to the mantra. Okay, you have to get immersed with yourself. Okay, and at the right time. So like here, so you say Shivoham. There's echo. Shivoham. Okay, of course I'm saying it audibly, but you are supposed to do it mentally. But you see, that's it. Shivoham. And relax. There's a pause. Okay, and you should feel it. Okay, that is the meaning of bhavana, taking the bhava. So you do like that, the quality of your sadhana will be different. Instead of you repeat the mantra, like if the mantra is, all right. So that's the attitude. Huh? So, okay. There's a question here, the meaning of Buddha Shuddhi, Asan Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi. Okay, right. These are the technical terms of Pratyahara in the tantric system of sadhana. Okay. Okay. So this question, I shall address this personally. Okay. Please leave me a text later. So I will answer you, okay, via texting. So generally, this practice is actually for withdrawal. All right. Okay, so that is basically the system of sadhana. Okay, the attitude of a sniper. I mentioned that. Something's wrong with the slide. Okay, so the purpose of mantra is to engage the mind with an activity. It is to exclude the mind from all other thoughts and allow the mind to flow with a singular thought. Okay, so the bhava or the ideation of mantra will steady the mind and assist you in unfolding the unconscious mind. Right? And you, a beginner here, I already told last week that ideally 15 to 20 minutes twice daily. If you can't do that, make sure that you sit in one sitting compulsorily. So it means out of your 24 hours, find that one session, right? And make sure that your stomach is not full for your practice. At least 2 hours, and find a quiet place for your practice. In conclusion, so to recap, Purushartha, I introduced the concept Purushartha. What is Purushartha? Okay, the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is the basis of your existence. And you have to fulfill that, fulfill it. You cannot run away from it, but you have to fulfill it, making Dharma as your guiding principle. Okay. And then we saw about the mind. So main focus, try to understand reorientation of the subconscious mind. It's a very important aspect of spiritual sadhana and self-improvement. And your sadhana, so we touch on yama. Yama means maintaining a balance with your external world. So with that, I'm concluding the lesson of this week. So if you have any question, you can raise the question. If you don't have any, so if your questions, if the question is personal, you can text me. All right. And so I also like to comment on this attendance. So at 8 o'clock, still, I only saw 33 people. Okay, 33 minus the admin. So I don't know what happened to the rest. Okay, I think we have an agreement that you should try to be in at least 5 minutes before the session, and up to 8:05. A certain percentage of people, if they're not in. Okay, so I hope this thing is not being repeated next week. All right. And you know the consequence of so this is the second week. Okay, I'll give you one more opportunity. Okay, next week I don't want to see anybody late unless you have a big issue. Okay, thank you. So any question?
Hello,
Hello, yeah.
Brother Padma.
Yeah, Velu.
Yes, it's Velu. Yes, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for such a lovely discourse again.
Mhm.
I think
You're
all
welcome.
of us got into it in a very deep manner this week. So I've got two questions actually. So the first one, it's about the sadhana itself. I was told by someone, now I can't recall who it was, but someone told that if you're going to do a meditation or a sadhana, at the very least you should you should have a shower at least an hour before, or an hour or two, or you should at the very least wash the back of your ears and your neck before, and make the water flow through that before you actually do this. Is there some sense to actually doing that?
Okay, all right. Actually, taking a bath definitely is very refreshing. Okay, and it's actually water touching your skin, re-energize yourself. But it's not about 1 hour before. Okay, it's just immediately before you practice. You can take bath. Definitely, taking bath is good, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's encouraged. And if you cannot take bath, so we have a system called in Ananda Marga, we have a system called half bath. Okay, where you wash your knee and below, okay, your leg from the knee and below, then from elbow, this portion, all right. Then you take some water in your mouth and keep your eyes open, splash 12 times, and then you can take some water and cool your navel point, right, in your back of your ears, okay. Okay, then you have to spit out after the splashing the water. Okay, so this is half bath. Okay, they also do the nasal cleansing, but anyway, for beginner I don't recommend now. Okay, so if you cannot take bath, you should do this half bath. Okay, so I think we will post this procedure for half bath in the group. Okay, so for your reference, and also I will post on some brief write up on yama and yama as well. Okay, what's your second question? Before that, okay, it's not before. Okay, after sadhana. Okay, suppose you do long sadhana and whatever, I mean, half an hour and up to 1 hour. So you're not supposed to take bath at least 1 hour after that. Okay?
I see.
Because that will, your energies will flow out. Okay? So it's not about before, it's after. Okay? It is 1 hour after you finish your sadhana, 1 hour after that, at least you don't take bath. Right?
I see.
Okay, now go to the second question.
All right, thank you. So the second one is about the subconscious mind. And you said that the maxim that you said, you are what you think. And that is tied to the subconscious mind, which is fine. And then you said there is the concept of the Brahmacharya, which is the universal, I mean, to incorporate the universal outlook into your being.
Yes.
So you have your personal view about who you think you are and what you should do, which is your dharma, maybe. And then you have I believe once you start doing your sadhana, then the universal outlook will start coming in naturally. Okay?
Yes, correct.
And then you have your guru, who is your guiding force. So now there are three things which is put into the mix: the subconscious mind, the universal outlook, and the guru. So I am supposed to, so this is what I'm asking. So I'm supposed to create a balance between these three so that I know that I'm moving forward.
Yes. You see, very simple. You see, like the very idea of Brahmacharya is that, so you begin to understand that what you see in others is actually you. Okay, but this is a very high state. And in fact, the Himalayan yogis, they do this practice. And in one Upanishad called Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad, there is a chapter on this called Madhuvitya. Okay, so Madhuvitya means honey knowledge, means the concept. For example, there's some maxims, some mantras, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, for example. Okay, so you will see in Upanishads and all. That means everything is expression of Brahma. Okay, so even Gita, there is what do you call in one sloka, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. So it means Vasudeva is the expression of. I mean, all these are expression of Vasudeva, or the universal consciousness, not a person. In Ananda Marga, in the system of sadhana, so there's a second lesson in all the three Prarambic, Sadharana Yoga, and the Sahaj Yoga. There's a second lesson called Madhuvitya. So here the Guru gave another mantra for you to develop this outlook. That means in actual practice those days, they don't have a mantra like that. It's only through years of meditation they develop that outlook. Through their own elevation. But because the world is full of pollution, the kind of world we are living, so he gave an additional tool that constantly you can use the Guru mantra to imbibe this bhava of Brahmacharya. Okay, so and it is known as Guru mantra because that answers your question also, because you are not depending on your Shakti to develop that universal bhava, but you use his Shakti.
I see.
Okay, so that is the important. So actually for you to be able to understand the second lesson of the Madhuvitya, okay, this Brahmacharya thing is, you have to master your first lesson to a certain extent. Okay. Then at first we are actually transforming your own consciousness. You're using your mantra. Why? What is the logic? Because you are full of ideas. Your mind, your subconscious, unconscious, full of ideas. Okay, which actually degenerate. Most of the time is the ideas degenerate the people. So now you're planting a new seed, through the Ishta mantra. Constantly, that create a new consciousness in you. Okay,
I see.
New consciousness where? In the subconscious. Through the subconscious going to the unconscious. Your Atma is always pure. The mantra doesn't make your Atma enlightened. The Atma is what you are working on the mind. The problem is the mind. So actually I take using one thorn, to remove another.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, at one level, so you have to develop that within, because when you begin to see who you are, so then only you can see others, right? Then with the help of the Guru mantra, so yeah, it accelerates your progress. Yep.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Right. So any other question, or you can put in the chat as well. All right. I think there's no more question this week. So, all right. Thank you very much. We will see you again next week. So if you have any issues, any questions and all that, you can text me. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you.